Why me have to stay and suffer and him can get up and run away? Not to me, the whole away. Why the whole away have to stay, but him have the chance to run away? Why? And if you think about it, out of his own mouth, not me say so, him say so. You cannot have 1 foot in a child's country and 1 foot here, so.
Yeah.
So,
hold on. Discussion. Somebody say a $4, them sell it for $4, and 3 weeks later them sell it for $11.
Yes, something like that. Yes. Right?
Yeah.
And him make the profit, not the country.
Yeah. Hold on, sticking this up discussion. Let me address this boy named Daniel. Daniel Murray 8. You say only PJ get treat. You can't even write. You write 3 TH. You see on the dunks. I third him one write RD. You write 3 TH. Only PJ get it. No one else. Yeah, that's the thing, Andrew and PJ. Then if PJ them thief so much money
And get it.
out of the country and get third term. Why Andrew we have built the country and do so much good can get third term?
Yeah.
I don't go third him again. Third, fourth, fifth, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 till Jamaica rise. So I'm sorry for now. That's fine. Yes, brother.
Yeah, man. So back to what me I say, something right there, so. So we all know and understand why this man get the right where God forbid anything bad for happening in our country. Him supposed to get the privilege to run away, but me have to stay. We have to stay and suffer. Why? And out of his own mouth, him say you cannot have 1 foot in a King Charles country and 1 foot in Jamaica. So, I mean, when him said don't never go for him, his own words never go for him. And then now tomorrow we have to go see this man going and put him in bid now for run the country. All of them things like the hypocrisy we are going, it blatant, we see it. It's not, and nobody not tell me, we see it.
I just one thing.
General discussion.
I just one thing I'm about to do,
Yeah, the one where the mirror chap says, where's the chap?
Correct yourself, brother. Him never get no chance to run the country. I wanna stop worry over where
No.
Andrew, watch yourself.
You know, brother, me never go so far, Me believe that him now go win, but we don't even want to start it. He shouldn't even get the chance to put in him and bid. And that's when I start from.
You hear them say Andrew will get third term in a prison? Eh? Watch when Andrew win while I go and charge you.
That's what them wish for.
Watch when Andrew win while I happen. Andrew now spill him guts like them, If you, like how always say, one of the best chess players, And them are half a prisoner and them are half a bag of thing. Just watch what happen, charge.
Over St. Thomas, him say I move like him back some Muhammad Ali, When they match your punch, you just put up his yard, until the right time comes boom, one knockout punch and that'll come the third.
Pretty.
One solid punch.
Pretty at the end time, Andrew always win the third term. Only for people outside. The civil society group, they have to go run. None of them are going to lose their job. None of them are going to get cleaned up and run. That's why you see them have move out. So
them now get the chance to run, brother.
None of them are going to lose their work. And none of them are going to get.
Come on, gentlemen, let me show you.
Discussion done.
Gentlemen, let me tell you something, You see, Mark Olin being a British citizen is not what we can do. We have to look on the whole agreement that we are going on. The man put himself in a position. Why you think he won't give it up? He put himself in a position where he's backed. Him have people in a hype who wants to back him. Remember, of anything, We can't hold him and say we are going to do this or we are going to do that and lock him up, Britney's there, them going to support him and back him as one of them own. That's the issue we are having, my brothers. This thing is not a small talk thing, a big thing, That is the reason why you don't want to give it up, because if we find ourselves in a corner, him have over back him and them will back him seriously and we cannot say nothing. That's the issue behind it.
Yeah, but them not have a chance to that. Them not even have a chance.
Squiddy, please understand what I'm saying politically.
Whoever
We can
whoever's way I say, man. Whoever's way I say.
We can sit there and talk, you know, but he is going to be backed by them.
But
It is a
what we
split.
are saying, we understand what you are saying. But what we are saying now, we get no chance. We now get no chance to go away from nobody back him. Him going to depend on one.
No, pretty. Even in pretty. Remember, so we're not converted. We're not the power own it, you know. We're still under freedom rules, you know. So even here, so in our country, the man is like king, is still here. So that man tries to, you know. He might play as if he was the king, so, you know. He was backed by the British government. And that's the problem here. If anything, him run. If him ever run, go anywhere, power in the street, just go up on the British, even on the sidewalk, and stand up on the sidewalk. We can't do nothing, you know. Not even touch, you can't even touch him, you know. That is the problem. And him know that, that's why I'm play upon it. He might play upon emotions, I play upon it. Him know. Don't
But here we are saying, discussion. All we have,
Yes,
what we have to do now is not pray that. Just pray to get all the people if we go vote.
yeah, I understand that. But
Everyone to go vote.
yes, sir, you're right on that. But you show me I look on it.
Team look up pray, man. No make that get in your brain, brother. And
No,
not
man,
up
no. No, nah, get my brain.
Team look up thing. Why am I go on with him, brother? As I say, if he stand up on the sidewalk, no man can't touch him. No pray that. Pray if you get out everyone from the nook and the cranny there, make them go vote. Everybody where you know.
Yeah, man. Yes, man. Yeah, man.
And put vote for him.
Yeah, man.
Them have no talk when you don't vote them out, brother. Him could have
just
a
feel like
British passport. Him not have no talk.
You know what I tell you? Personally, me feel like say him shouldn't even go through a nomination day tomorrow. Him not have no right to go through a nomination.
If the people them who have the powers can't stop him, all who have to do is just go vote. The vote will stop him. The vote will stop him, so he'll not get in there. That's all I want. Vote. Them a plan to get more than 400k vote. If they get 400k JP, they might get 600,000. They might get nominated. That no stress about that. They might get nominated.
How's they doing now?
So I just say people them know we want to try to get out of every crevice and corner. Line up some, we are going to move people everywhere. People who don't know. Some old people will live by themselves and they just go visit them. Yes, sir, we are talking about labor rights quitting. It's a Jamaican. Jamaica, me a defend. And I have a part of my flag color, see that? And green in our flag. We don't keep me, have not a Jamaican flag, but we not a Jamaican. We don't go for comrade, brother.
I'm a British citizen.
Me for Jamaica. And yes, sir, you're there all the while, but you see, right now, we're going to give you a black for tonight. We're going to give you a kick in your face, yes, sir. Even though you're there with me for a while, but tonight we're going to give you a kick out of my iron boot of my arm. Take a mute and go sit down. Skiddy.
If I want to change my name for this, if I don't want this name.
So you put up Skiddy.
Hey, Squiddy.
Then you put up your name, Skiddy.
I don't love the name. I don't love the name again. I mean, name is Skiddy. Squiddy.
Then you yourself, Skiddy.
No, I'm a fan of it.
I'm
not Skiddy.
You want your Skiddy.
Big. That's how I put the ad for the other day. But every change my name.
Yeah. Go on talk now. Where say I go on?
And the nomination me talk about with tomorrow's quitty with MarkG. All me concern about
discussion I said.
me concern about it bad. Me want when they go in if they go making something there because they have to show in what you call it renounce.
Yes, but not tell us say. When you don't make that bad, I don't know.
But I don't feel a problem.
Nominated. Still I will get nominated. What of bad about is to get out everyone to go vote in our community. Everyone. Once they're in.
If you say that, then go use machine down tomorrow, though.
That now go mash him down. He still go get something. He still go get him nominated.
Okay.
So don't worry about the part there. Try to get everybody. Try to get everybody going down the constituency. Everybody when you can vote. You just vote and go your yard. When you don't vote, go find some, go find the hunt, go find some people.
I know the less with it, so I can't go find nobody. But I know today I have to turn a fine and take my party.
Oh, you know go there?
I know them there. And I can't go there.
Okay. Yeah. Somebody said we nominate in the last election. So what are they kidding? Go Jay.
Yes, Kitty, where are
Yes, sir. What?
So what do you put up and to mute?
One lion. Mute the one lion, please. Yeah. Kill him, mute. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what you are going to squid you?
Kill him, yeah.
You know, I come about Mark Golden and Damon Crawford and me hear Cliffy was say Dayton Campbell should have get a hand back with there. And the same thing should have reached Jamaican Crawford, you see me? Yeah man, cause the boy in faced and road. I mean in the even bright like my sister shoes race and I talk about bright to the Prime Minister. Talk about turning him up a UE. People full of film class and knowing that yo, people want to hear imposterism, that's why they're full up in class. So if I talk about him a Rasta, I'm a natty jet. I don't know Rasta, imposter and big.
Natty jet, brother, him is nothing.
You understand me? You understand me? So when you hear him come up in dirty mouth, squitty, I don't want to go there, so but him on road. You see me, I say I'm road. But me come about my golden still in a squitty. You understand? Because PMP, same PMP party, Mark Golden demonstrate against the PMP party, you know, and poor people, you know. I want to know that, you know, and if I go in a Glen Archive about 2001, Mark Golden and his mother, and a retired general, demonstrated against poor people in a street. Ellison Flat said, you know, no poor people can live side of them because PJ and movie people them from for Uland. But when more come and say so, and put them beside this Ellison Flat, then say the value of their house, I got job. So just to show you, so Mark Golden is always about money from day one. The value of their house after they make so much of a slavery, then still a worry about money. So you think they might stop now? When I hear the man say something come out and the man should disqualify kind of no parliament you have a man who do that. Who demonstrate against the poor and still running for parliament. No country in the world that could not mean that. But Jamaica. You understand? No country in the world that could not mean that. And when I hear a man come out squitty and say squitty, he might go change what the government do. And then people that really vote in this man as squitty, after PJ parties have the country, under 18 years they have the country and did nothing, everything fall apart under their government. Every single thing fall down. No road name build, no hospital upgrade, no police station upgrade, no army no have no nothing. Nobody got anything. And they would have killed with tax with it.
Well on the soldier. Anybody see the poll? Because Show man has said the Dan Anderson poll state that the JLP is 6% lead and Andrew 3% lead. Anybody is
I know what Squitty, I know why you're not from Dan Andy. That I know say Andrew way ahead of Mark Golden Squitty. I hear about that, but I don't really care about that Squitty.
Oh, you hear about it?
Fake news them around in the Squitty. But a Squitty, I pay fake news them around in the Squitty. Anything you Glean put out now, you know, no valuable, you know. I can't tell you, know. Nothing where you Glean put out, no credible, you know. So it don't matter who they want to come with now. You understand? I wait for blow that poll to give me a correct assumption.
JLP has 6% lead.
Yeah, me just tell you, I don't want to hear, you know, matter, I don't want to hear nothing from them, Squitty. I don't want to hear from them. I don't want to hear from them. And blue that come out, then me work with that. You understand? So you
the poll where them put out and suppress, they were suppress people, not percent.
Yeah, we know that. Of course, by far. What you mean? So you know me, I send a Squitty, let me tell you, I know Squitty. All the people come in already, you know, for the election in Squitty, I tell you, you know, my crew, you know. All the people there already, you know. That me I tell you. Now, all it more left to come. You hear me? I said to you, say, so my PMP go on with them a little bit of money. Then can buy the selection, then can win it, then can do nothing. A little bit of money they have. So I tell them on this brawling. PMP with them a little bit of money go so sit down. So then I think they can come buy out this or trick nobody. You understand me? But what I have said to you, say, Squitty, Mark Bolden officially disqualifying himself after saying now continue the programs of Andrew Wallace. We have to take this thing asleep. We have to take Mark that in a Squitty.
That's true, man.
You understand what I said to you, say? And teachers, midnight tune
about him guardian mentality with the man come with.
Guardian for what? Guardian for thief the country money.
That mean the crime now go move.
Thief the money. Guard what? Squitty, listen to me now, man. When we hear them come here and talk about teachers, Squitty, you know saying a 2013 mental teacher if you go get different job. You hear them come here and run back a teacher. You hear in a 2013 mental teacher say they not hire no more, you know. So they have to change their profession, you know. Run it to you, tell them that, you know. And the message say, you know, them say, you know, hear them come and talk about they are for teacher. What for which teacher? Any government worker have ever seen money until Andrew Wallace come in a power? None. None across the board can't tell me nothing. None of them can come prove me otherwise. Because I want them pay slip from 2015 until now. And make we be judge. Any one of them who say otherwise. Forward with the pay slip from 2015 until now. Make we see how we go. And before that, one of them get the big raise. Because I don't know of that. Nobody don't know of that in Jamaica. Other than when Andrew Wallace come in a power. And give government workers big raise. You can imagine a COVID squitting, nobody get laid off or lose their work. Nobody, everybody get paid up. I wonder if them people remember short. You imagine a great job with Andrew during COVID squitty. To make all government workers could I still get paid and take care of their family. And help somebody else. You can imagine, man. You know work and you get paid. I look for push out this man. Jamaica people want to be a set of wicked. And me I tell you, say me wouldn't leave Jamaica, but if Mark Bolden will lead this country, me gone. I tell you that they phone up on one to fight this. Because I'm grateful. I'm grateful, but I know it's not going to happen, Squitty. I know it's not going to happen in the Squitty. But that's what people cancel and Squitty, how can you follow back a man like this, Squitty, and you say you're real as a man? No, just be honest, Squitty. You say you're a real person, and I say you love God and messing. You could have followed back a man Golden. It must be that you have some selfish mean, Squitty. Some selfish desire where you don't care about nobody else, Squitty. Now that's the only way you could have support this money. Only way you could have support PMP party presently in a state where you're in a Squitty. You have to be a selfish person. Very selfish person. No mean nobody no good, Squitty. You understand what I say to you, say? And we cannot you can imagine, Squitty, you know me? Yeah. Squitty, listen to me, Squitty. Squitty, the man, Squitty, me a judge the period of time. I want to put something for the development from 1992 to 2006. Show me the development what in Jamaica. We don't know about it. The time the police station floor me have to sleep on. You can't man, you go to a road man, fire shut off for you. I want to go put on your head, a floor you have to sleep on. I wonder if Jamaica people know where I come from, sir. I wonder if they know it's struggles where we go through to protect them. I wonder if they know. You understand what I say to you, Squitty? Them people and they deserve no chance. I mean, I want to big up the teachers them with a great job, you know, what they're doing to the students then, you know. The school are left from 9% to 70%, you know, Squitty. Pass mark, you know. Yeah, man, that's some great job the teacher them do, man. And the government are going to care about and go take care of the people. Don't make the JTA PNP head mess up the thing, you know. Don't make the JTA PNP head mess up the thing, you know. Yeah, I say to you, say, but he can't hide, he shade it.
Hold on, it's Geo in our box, yeah. Geo, send a request, brother. We want you come talk something, yeah. Send a request, Geo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, anytime man talks with you, tears your shed, man. I tell you, man, I don't know, normal, brother. You understand what I say to you, say?
Yeah, we have a box there ready for you. Hold on there. You see him there.
Yeah, man, they can't jump in same time, Squitty. May pass.
Everybody mute on the mic there.
Yeah.
We'll hear some talk, you know. Please. Yes, Gio.
Yeah, thank you, people.
Yes, I respect and welcome
yeah,
to the Show Pow chat.
Yeah, one. Yeah, boy, but tell you. Ah,
Yeah, man, so go on, take a deep breath and have a glass of water for drink and you have a talk of the thing then.
yeah, man, I have a glass of water, man. I have a little, a little bourbon.
Alright, sir. So,
But
Geo,
anyway,
who is Geo? Because we don't know about Geo. Geo who?
alright. Well, Gio, I just want, I think you would just come from out, see me out of the ghetto, Yeah, so I say, yeah, man, and boy, used to work at public service, get redundant, start a business with a business partner. Everybody's supposed to know about brakes, man.
Yeah.
Who used to know about brakes, man, and just get messed up with the whole FINSAC thing, FINSAC dealings thing, you see me I say? So, you don't know, say, man, I have to ride back and come back again and I try. And I tell you, say, boy, it never easy. Saying, because even some of the best business partners, friends, we call them business friends. You understand? Some of them, man, they commit suicide, man.
Yeah.
Just because of the government or FINSAC deal with the people, right? And the only 2 person, 3 person, 4 person, at least, would I say, benefit from them thing in the 90s. Omar Davis, Peter Bunting, Mark Golding, and Daring. So may I say?
Yeah.
Right? But let me give a history now, because for the young minds, they will not understand which part is FINSAC, because everybody hear about FINSAC and then understand where FINSAC is coming from, how our FINSAC is developed. And people are trying to play it off, like say, it never happened, or it like them do the right to do it. Okay?
Yeah.
When Dan Crawford, when Omar Davis was Minister of Finance, and when what I say now, when Free Zone, after Eddie Tiaga open up Free Zone and everything and them vote him out and all them something there, right? Them start tax the people them heavy till all the people them Free Zone, till all the people them affair pull out the Free Zone and go somewhere else which part more lucrative for them. So may I say?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because remember, in the 90s, some big brand name here, like Fruit of the Looms and Haynes, used to really manufacture here in Jamaica, right at Free Zone there. See? And for people who don't know, is that when Free Zone let out at daytime, it's almost a traffic blocking of people I look for to go more. But anyway, pass out from that. When them find say them can deal with certain economic aspect of things, right? Them say, boy, them are gonna look toward the banking sector. Dan Crawford said to Omar Davis, listen to me, you can't touch the banking sector because we've done it in our federal state already. So you can't touch the banking sector, right? If ignore what the man say, right? And start put on certain taxes from the banking sector and all them something there and a whole political thing, right? Mm-hmm. So we find to know where our small businesses now, right? Our businesses now concerned now. The man call a meeting up by SBA headquarters there, right? Right at the corner of Trafalgar Road and so. You understand? I was there as a young youth in a business, right? And the proposal that was sent to us business people, is that where the banking sector is concerned, so well, boy, it's gonna be a crash.
What kind of business you used to operate?
Brakes, man. We deal with brake shoe.
Oh, brake shoe.
Yeah, man. Rebuild about brake shoe, man. Because we have contract with our. Pardon me?
I know J&J.
No, man. Brakes, man.
Okay.
Brakes, man. Because we all have contract with all Pepsi and You know?
Okay.
Yeah, good amount of contracts. So just rebuild by break show.
Yeah.
So when we understand where the banking sector is going now, because it's like certain banks couldn't survive, certain banking businesses couldn't survive. So what they decide to do now is to like merge, like bank merge with bank and all the things that in order to try to survive and try to be sustainable, right? Omar Davis said to us, say, you know, where our money is concerned, where we have another bank, you understand, it is being protected, but however, they're gonna give us a loan, right? They're gonna make it, so easier so we can take a loan, you understand, in order to sustain a business, right? And we'll pay back the loan at 17.5% interest. 17.5, you know. You get me? When I took out my loan, you understand? When I took out my loan, I put my house up as collaterals. You understand? Put out my house as collateral. Right? And when I get my money, and I was just going on, right? I used to pay, college time used to pay approximately like $30,000 a month then, paying back on the loan. Right? Because normally, you know, in them days, you know, when you pay a loan, you know, I just the principal you pay back. You know, start really pay back the loan, you know, yet, you know, until you pay off the interest, and then you start paying the principal. That's how they used to do it in them days. Okay? But anyway, fast forward to that now. See, when we are born now and we still can't see no major sustainability and all them something. We still have struggle same way. And them still say, well, boy, we can come back again and, you know, and so we can do, and some man start refinance and all them thing there. And so all of a sudden now, where this FINSAC thing come in, right? Remember, you know, we borrowed a loan at 17.5% interest rate, right? 6 months after that, it moved from 17.5% to 21%, right? 3 months after that, now it got to about 27%, right? And as I saw the thing I moved, interest rate I moved, go straight up till it all reached 56%. About a year. Yeah, man, about a year after that is 100%. No, believe you me, 100%. No, when some business could even sustain, what is really happening now is like, you know, say, boy, them business crash because they don't really have the money to pay them employee. Nothing too tough now go on. You understand? There is no returns or whatever it is. You know, not even little investment on the stock market because that's a struggle. You know? So here comes FINSAC. Right? So they say that them carrying FINSAC in order to help with the financial sector. That was what FINSAC was supposed to do, you know. Help the struggling business in the financial sector. Right? So when we hear about this BB&G thing coming now, Darren Bunting and Golden coming now, right? The first thing Omar Davis did was to hand over Billy Craig, them step in at Billy Craig and take over Billy Craig Bank.
Yeah.
Right? When them take over Billy Craig Bank, right? They sold, them liquidate the bank, and Omar, and it's like the government they owe them approximately almost about 32 million US dollars, right? When them liquidate it, right? Now the first payment of $12 million came from Omar Davis to DB&G. And about a month after that, 20 million US was paid with taxpayer money to DB&G. Right? Because, you know, that's why it so happens. That's why it so happens.
Geo, that time about the same man we are planning to run for Prime Minister now, Mark Golding.
Yes, man. Him same man.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So it goes further now, right? When FINSAC do them auditing and them something there, because as I say, what FINSAC was developed to do was to help assist with the financial sector, with the businesses of the financial sector, right? So when we see our interest rate run up, and it's like the demand, it like say we get letter of demand of people payments and all them something. So we can't make our payments, and there is nowhere we could even turn to, right?
Send a letter of force on to pay.
Yeah, man. Right? And so the thing is that now, right? Omar Davis now turn FINSAC now like say it is a collection agency. Right? That are the big turn at the table now. See? So what they did now, they went in, right? Them contract DB&G, you know, went into the people and businesses, right? Liquidate the people and businesses, and if the money wasn't enough, if the money was not enough to sanctify over them loan, right? What they do, they step in on the people and property. They move in for our property and all them thing there, right? Them see the people and property, put it up for sale. It's what I say. Them himself buy it, and then them turn it around and sell it back on the open market. You understand? And collect the money for themselves and keep it to themselves. That's why, and then keep that, and then keep doing that for over a number of years until Hardly Shaw was the one now who come and uncover the whole scenario and the fraudulent business until him start telling him, say, boy, DB&G have to get some sweetheart deal, right? Because even when Bunting was CEO for JDB, Jamaica Development Bank, right? Him sell the steel mill to himself, right? Him sell the steel mill to himself.
Who the one is steel mill? Jamaica?
Pardon me?
Who the one is steel mill?
Jamaica, they own the steel mill.
Yeah.
Jamaica, they own the steel mill. Because even a lot of people never know, say, Jamaica was the first country to make wrought iron. Them big wrought iron, we say, with them build up like all bridge and ship, make with ship and all them something there. Jamaica was the country that produced it. Until the English come and take it, thief it away from us and carry it to England. So that's how we end up back with the steel mill, you know. You understand? And then it was the Jamaica steel mill, right? But because they were in power, you understand, right? And them want money for finance them what you call it? But as a matter of fact, we never call it budget. You understand? We never call it budget. But them just want money for finance some little fraudulent thing now. They sell the steel mill to himself. Because at DB&G himself the steel mill to, you know.
Yeah.
When he was JD, the CEO for JDB, you know. Right? Him sell the steel mill to DB&J at $4 a share. Right? And within 3 weeks, you understand, DB&G sell back that steel mill at $11 a share.
Yeah.
Right? And them collect over nearly about $40 million them collect off of the staff of the deal.
Yeah, they earn over $70 billion, yes.
Exactly. right? And may I tell you, when it goes even further now, right? To tell you about my experience personally, I can remember when I went into my office and I saw two guys there in a them black suit and tie, right? Sitting in my office waiting on me. And same time just going and see them and them introduce themselves, say that they are from FINSAC. And they're here to assist and see what is happening with where the business and the loan payment is concerned. Right? These guys look at me and tell me, say, look, right, where my business partner is also concerned. They said that we have to find approximately $2 million in order to keep the business open. So we say, how are we going to find $2 million to pay you guys and keep our business open? Right? They said that.
How much you used to pay them before them come to you? How much you used to pay them?
We used to, as we said, used to pay them like $30,000 a month. Until they go up till we end up with a pay like till they when the interest rate skyrocket, we end up with pay some 120,000, 90,000. But we couldn't sustain that because our turnover wasn't so high. You understand? Right? Because the little contract where we are really depend on, you understand, wasn't really when them pay us. When them supposed to pay us, you know, because in the contract, you know, them say them have 30 days. You understand? Before payment, you know. You understand what I say?
Yeah.
So
Hold on, Geo. Hold on. Drink some water and let me talk to somebody. I'll go buy your box a minute, one lion here. Somebody important want to come talk to.
okay.
Here, one lion. I'll buy your box a minute. I'll come back later. Yeah, this brother I know about some of my things to go on. I bring him up, George. Yeah, man, go and talk now, my brother.
Yeah, man. So the thing is that now, when after the meeting and we discuss and you know we come to a agreement to say okay then we're gonna try see where we can pay even 70% out of the $2 million and you give us about 2 months in order to pay the balance. Right? Them say, okay, no problem. Only say 2 weeks after that, you know, a letter of demand come to my office. Right? And when the letter of demand come to my office, them demand full payment because them say we default on it. We default on the deal. Right? So when me I talk to my business partner now, but the whole scenario now we approach it and all them something there. Only to see the man them come and say, boy, here what? Right? Them have a letter of judgment where them have to go seize the property. You understand? And sell it in order to make recoveries. You understand? I never even to understand it, you know. I remember as a young youth, you know, I'm gonna buy my house. I'm gonna have my house. And then the man just come in and come tell me, say, boy, them have to go seize the property and all them something there, right? My business partner get heart attack. My business partner get heart attack at the same time.
And die?
No, he didn't die at the time, right? But we have to rush him. Guy go to the where they have to tell out half a 3 road the name again. Medical Associates.
Yeah.
We have to rush him to Medical Associates, right? And then the whole pressure they down on my shoulder as a young youth, you know. To say, boy, I don't know what I do now till me I scrape this now, me I scrape that now. You understand? Right? Till I'll bailiff one morning, I get ready to go work. I'll bailiff that, I see a big gate. You understand?
So you eventually lose your house?
Yes, man. Yeah, man. I mean, I tell you, say.
How much your house is valued at that time then when you lose it?
The value?
Yeah.
When the value of my house, when we purchase a house, we purchase a house for 300 and about $370,000.
Yeah.
I did purchase that house, and with the improvement on it, I said the value approximately like $700,000.
Them time there.
Yeah, them time there.
Yeah.
So they give me a letter of judgment, so boy, I'm have to vacate the premises. No, you know how that feel? You just wake up one morning and somebody tell us, give a letter of judgment, and so boy, you have to vacate the premises. The house where you work so hard and buy.
Yeah.
As a young youth. See?
Yeah,
Close down business, so boy, they have to put it in a liquidation.
And
Yeah.
the head of the man them who send the letter there. Who was the head of them people who were in charge of them sending around them letter to the people them?
Who was the head of it?
I can jump in a little bit. Let me
Yeah,
jump in
man.
a little bit. Yeah, so I don't want to give out too much because, you know, people might recognize who I am, but I was involved in the process. I never gave out any letter like that. It wasn't my remit or my department, but I was involved in the entire affair. What was really going on? I want people to understand.
Hold on, Judge. I want to know the name of the man them who that issue them, who authorized for them letter to go
It
through.
would have. So this is what I was going to explain, and he can elaborate. It one of two things happened in a situation like that. It's either so he would have gotten a loan from a financial institution. If the financial institution still had the loan, it would be people from that institution. If the loan had been taken over by FINSAC, it would be people from FINSAC.
Yeah, but listen.
Let me hear, because I feel make my talk about
The person, and let me tell you, the chairman for FINSAC.
Judge, you know what happened
You
to
understand?
Who authorized them letter if it come to you?
It was one of the signature on the letter was Patrick Hilton.
Right,
Yeah.
that be the loan took over by FINSAC. It went to FINSAC.
Yeah? And who again?
It was Patrick Hilton and
Yeah.
Errol Campbell. Errol Campbell, if I remember correctly, right? Those were two signatures on the letter. And the gentleman speaking, yes, and he must can confirm those two persons' name in FINSAC.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So it's not something I'm guessing or me I tell you from
Because of your
experience.
experience and what happened to you. That's what I want to hear.
Exactly. Right? Because I me feel the biting at the back.
Yeah.
Right? When I the way I was so in form of desperation, right? I went up to Papi in the day and I saw Mr. Clooney because he was the MP for over Kentire region there.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Mr. Clooney about the situation and all them thing there. Okay? Right? And he directed me to go to a Mr. Alexander at the finance ministry.
It's Oliver Clue, not Mr. Clooney. Oliver Clue.
Oliver Clue, yes, thanks for the correction. Oliver Clue.
Yeah.
He directed me to go to Mr. Alexander at the finance ministry. Right? And when I went to the finance ministry in order to get some assistance, nobody would hear what I have to say. Right? Nobody will hear what I have to say. Right? All them do, they take my name, take my address, and say, listen, me, somebody will get in touch with me. And up to this day, that phone call can't come. Up to this day. Right? Till about a week passed. And I was talking to my business partner. Me, I tell him, say, boy, you know, say, boy, Errol, you know, say, boy, you know, say, Connect, we're not going to really make it. Because me not get no response from the ministry, you know. You understand? In the night, he does a phone call me again, so boy, you know, say the man dead. Like he might get a second heart attack. Right?
And you drop here this time.
And then in the next morning, because the night I couldn't sleep. Now the next morning, you know, I have another friend, another business friend. Only for years, them call me and say, boy, them find the man for them hang himself for them apple tree and them back in yard.
Yeah.
Nice. You understand? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember, I don't know if people remember.
So, hold on, Gio. At that time when you go to the Oliver crew and them man, they go ask them, what happened to your business? Did you lose the business already?
Yeah, but I don't lose it already.
And you lose the house?
I'm going to lose my house already. So I saw because you don't know, so I don't have nothing in the house. Because I just lucky say, my mother did have a little house over Kent there. But I could have gone and chill. I could have gone build back, you know.
Well, you're strong today, I talk with to the day, yeah?
Oh, that's why I'm sure I say,
You're strong, brother.
I'm guessing them people don't even know until there, because I said I've been there.
Yeah.
Right? I have been there and I have gone through the struggles.
Yeah.
Right? And there was no assistance. It's like the man will take your thing and just kick you out. And the business will go, what happened to you afterwards? You get what I say?
You don't get back no money now, nothing at all off your house now your business.
None, because the first red flag is with Citizen, because our account used to be with Citizen Bank, King Street branch. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay? And King Street branch shut down with 700,000 for us. Because there was no GIDC in place at that time. There was no insurance for your money in that time. The bank just shut down with people money.
And you try to tell me, say the head, all of them things that were going, the FINSAC thing, the head of it, a Bunting,
Mark Bolin, Omar Davis.
And Omar Davis.
Yes, man.
And them are head them thing, and I saw them deal, them treat people.
Exactly. That's why I am saying to them. That's why I am saying that right now. Omar Davis and Bunting and Golden should I write a letter of apology to the Jamaican people because they rape Jamaican economy.
Yeah.
They rape Jamaican economy.
Drink some water, brother. Drink some water there. Come here now your voice. Drink some water and calm down a little bit.
And you don't even know I'm trust him because I tell you some man.
Keep a glass of water.
Every time I talk about it, man, tears come my eyes star. Because I tell you, he's my good friend. Dead. And nothing come out because the man works so hard. The man works so hard to build him thing.
Gio,
and the man died, the man dead as a papa.
Yeah, hold on, Gio. After the second attack, him finally drop out.
Yeah. And just imagine, you feel for no say, your business partner and friend for years have a heart attack in the night. You couldn't sleep. And then in the morning, you get a call to say your other brother now hang himself from the back of the yard for an apple tree.
Yeah.
Just because the man, because when the man, if anybody know a great house circle, you know, right? There is after a pass, if anybody know a great house circle, because after a pass, which part lady saw have their house, you know, 2 doors after that, you know, was my good friend house, you know. Make out a cut wall stone and all them thing there, you know. You understand? And the people them come take with that, you know. And that's why the man hang himself. Because you lock down the man business and you come take with the man house.
If you're never strong, you'd analyze yourself. So
I'm actually analyze myself too, man.
Actually, you're strong, brother.
But Squitty, you see where Jamaica people are running them to put themselves in. You see where Jamaica people are running them to put themselves in, how them look for lead.
And the people them are the people them no, but the thing is that, you know, they don't know. Because and that's why I say no. That's why I say no. I say I want him wrong Abli Shafa because Abli Shafa make the promise say boy, when him going to Parliament, him going to release the FINSAC, the damning FINSAC report.
Mm-hmm.
Him say, I'm going to pay the $15 million to release the report. Because when them were calling at the inquiry, you understand? Right? Okay? And 2 times I have to ask a break. 2 times I have to ask a break. You understand? Because and if anybody watch the inquiry, the amount of money balling at that. The amount of man business owners, previous business owners were balling at that. You see me I say?
Them think we don't remember, man.
So yeah, so quickly, I want to thank you for bringing this gentleman up. And
yeah, man, I'm a team, man. Thank you, team, man. I'm the team, man. Thing we hear about him and we make the people them go hunt him and them find him, you know?
Yes, and expose it because the young people need to understand what happened. That these people who were responsible, who orchestrated this wickedness in Jamaica, they are still around. But and they pretending that they everything wrong.
The blood of them people when they're upon them shoulder right now.
Hold on. Anybody understand the history of cement company?
Yeah.
Eh? You know who cement company sell to? Who them sell cement company to? Eh?
Yeah.
Right? Who them sell cement company to, you know? Right? A golden brother-in-law, you know? I don't know if people don't know that, you know? Right? A golden brother-in-law because the brother will buy cement company and married to Mark Golding's sister, you know?
Yeah. So what I want people to understand, Scooty, is the macroeconomic picture that drive the PNP to pursue this wickedness in Jamaica. What was going on is that when they came to power in 1989, and especially after Michael retired because of his cancer, and PJ took over, they started this process of profligate spending. So basically, you have your macroeconomic policy, you have your monetary policy. What they were doing on the macroeconomic side is spending what the country didn't have, running up the debt, and even going on the monetary policy side, where the Bank of Jamaica was not an independent central bank, and ordering the Bank of Jamaica to print money. So when you're doing this heavy amount of spending in a poor, open, small economy, clearly the Jamaican dollar going to deteriorate versus US because everybody going to want US to buy this, buy that, and so on. So the currency, I don't know if you remember, but the currency under Seaga was at 550 to 1. He managed to keep it stable. But then it started running away. It quadrupled to over 20 to 1 in a short space of time. So what they did know, them say, all right, what we're going to do, what they really should have done is cut back on the fiscal spending and stop printing money. But what did they decide to do? They decided to raise interest rates. And they kept interest under Omar Davis. They kept interest rates high for much too long. The interest rates were too high. Overdraft rates went to over 100% per annum, my brother. Think about that. Which business can survive that? Which business can survive that? Nobody can survive that. None.
Of course. You're right about that. You're so right about it.
All right. Well, John, make him continue talking.
Yeah, man. I love making talk, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man, you can go on. You can go on. I just want to set that picture there that the young people who are listening understand.
Yeah, man.
Listen to me. Yeah, but just might add a little thing there.
Yeah.
We remember when the black market they run for the US hard.
Yeah, man. Man, I sell money to them car back.
Did you know, say, the Bank of Jamaica, they have put money in a man car back to go buy US dollar on the black market. Especially in a man to forget man to at least to go buy money.
What buy US dollar on the black market. Hold on it, Geo. G keep I'm dealing with him already, you know. I kick him in the face with the iron board. Black him. Yeah.
I tell you, all them thing there. Man, I walk with the man I drive around with millions of dollars in a car trunk.
Buy
I
US.
buy US on the black market. For the Bank of Jamaica, for BOJ. Right? So nobody believes where the man them are do or what the man them did, right? Was to assist poor people of this country. They never did none for no poor people of this country, just only to keep us poor. Because it was just 4 persons benefiting.
Call out them name, man.
Right? As I say, it was just Omar Davis, Bunting, Golden, and PJ. And the little spill off them, like other little politician them I used to get money to, you understand? And I pay off the done them to keep them thing, you know, up and running. And if you buy it, go give them and all them thing there.
Let me ask you something. You go find a major platform about this?
Made a major platform?
They like the political platform then.
No, you know. Honestly, no, you know.
That's what you should ask.
You understand? But if I get the chance to do it, I will.
You need to talk to
I will.
yourself.
Because it's just the other day I saw what the
Gio, Gio, can I ask you a question before you go further?
You and John need to go and lay the cars on platform because they have intensive spa over there. The lady that her father died, her brother died, and her grandmother died. So you need to go over there. Says she wants, you know. She's an English lawyer.
Yeah. But Gio, can I ask you this real quickly?
Keep and give me information.
All right, follow me and me inbox you.
Okay,
Is there any truth to the rumor that many PNP politicians and people who were aligned to the PNP back then, they benefited primarily from buying off these people's houses that were FINSAC?
Of course.
Yes.
It was just the PNP, it was one of the PNP supporters buying the house them a little, even below market value.
Yes, so a little below. Squitty, let me give you an example of what was going on. Squitty, let me give you an example of what was happening. And it's deeper than a lot of people realize. Let me give you an example. Mutual Life was a big insurance company in Jamaica. It was founded by George William Gordon in the 1800s. So it's old and it have a lot of property. What would happen is that these insurance companies, Squitty, would basically pay the premiums, pay the commissions to the insurance agents, basically by running a current account. So they would have an overdraft and they will pull the money from that overdraft. So imagine a situation where I'm telling you that interest rates went to over 100% per annum on overdraft. In no time, the Island Life Insurance Company, Mutual Life, which was the biggest one, got into big trouble. Prime Life went into big trouble. Big financial problem because the interest rate was too high. At that time, remember, LOJ was a little less affected because their structure was a little bit different. Part of the problem for Jamaica, from Mutual Life, is that Mutual Life was a mutual assurance company. And there are some financial technicalities that I won't get into why they're different. They were a mutual assurance society as opposed to a life insurance company. But anyway, because the interest rates were so high, they were not able to recoup enough money to pay off these overdraft loans. So in no time, they became insolvent. They went to Omar. They went to Omar basically and beg Omar for an ease or a way out. Omar never care. Him never
Exactly.
care. Him never care. Him said about them never run them business correctly. So that's their fault. So guess what happened now, Squitty? Listen to this. Mutual Life owns some beautiful pieces of real estate. I don't know if you know this place. I can't remember the name of the road, but it runs parallel to Trafalgar Road. But it's hard for you to see that road because it's very private. And Mutual Life owns some beautiful townhouses around there. If you didn't know they existed, if you didn't know the area, you'd have just pass and don't know. Beautiful townhouses. When Mutual Life collapsed,
Somebody say Oxford. Oxford.
I don't think so. I can't. But that no, it's not Oxford. It's not Oxford Road. It's parallel to Trafalgar Road. It's a dead end. Unless you know that dead end is.
Yeah, man, I know that road.
It's
Some
near
the
R Hotel or something like that. Some beautiful
man.
townhouses. Let me tell you something, Squitty. Listen to me, man. The comrade them swoop down on them thing there, you know, and buy them for little and nothing.
Somebody say Arton Avenue.
Could be.
Yeah,
That's
that's it. Yeah, that's it. You're correct.
Them tell something, man. Them swoop down on them thing there and buy them for little and nothing. Now remember, if Mutual Life is collapsing, you need those assets to back the liability at Jamaica Mutual Life. In other words, you need to sell them for as much as possible. Them sell them for as little as possible. Come with them, buy them up. Right? Buy them up for little and nothing and leave the debt on the Jamaican people because the debt of Mutual Life and all the failed institutions were all consolidated into FINSAC and then put into the national debt. And the Jamaican people paying back that, but the PNP man them gone with the assets. Wicked man.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
What happened to it?
No, but quickly, before you go to the steel factory, George, is there any truth, and Geo can answer this too? Because there are anecdotal stories that not only those properties that George mentioned, the townhouses, were owned by Mutual Life, but there were other properties that were owned by the banks, especially in the New Kingston area, that when those banks were taken over by the government, a lot of those properties in New Kingston, prime properties, found themselves in the hands of comrades. And there's also anecdotal stories that when those properties, some of them big and commercial properties were taken over, there were comrades who took them over and were selling stuff like they were selling downtown.
Exactly. Of course.
Yeah.
Take for instance that hotel up by Manor Park there. That hotel there. I forgot what it name. The Crown.
Yeah.
The Crown Hotel up by Manor Park there.
Yeah.
Right? That was even liquidated by FINSAC, you know.
Mirati.
That
When I
was
look at them, said
liquidated
the
by
US
FINSAC.
embassy didn't own it.
Yes. Right? Okay. So nobody believes nobody. I can attest to what George just said. Prime properties selling for little and nothing.
What
Right?
them do that money there? Put in them pocket.
Of course, put in that pocket. Anybody? Listen to me. Anybody ever
And
question
them
how?
want come now, so they want to run to Jamaica.
Anybody ever question how Bunting making money? Because them say he will own BBNG. Anybody question how Mark Wally making money? Because guess what? How can you have a $70 billion profit company? You understand? Right? Which one have more money under your belt, more money on your belt. You understand? And just because the people don't find out the slackness now, you understand? And you want to get out right now, you call in Scotiabank and sell the company for $100 million US.
But not only that, you know.
That come like you buy a Benz car for $20 million. You understand? And and like the RPD department that come down for you know, so you want a quick sale. So you go for come and sell it for $10 million. Oh, that makes sense.
I would love Jordan here to answer the question. I was reading a report.
Talking on the mic, sir.
I'm not hearing so clearly.
Sam, talk about we not hear you.
You hear me? You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we are here now.
All right. I was reading. I want George and Geo to answer this. I was reading a report today. With something on the JS website. It was talking about the NIBJ, the National Investment Bank, where Peter Bunting was also a member of that board. And DB&G made some investment. They were there as a promoter to for some investment for the runaway bill. And how much millions of dollars was spent there to do some development work. And there was some collapse that took place there, which I think NIBJ invested some money and they were entitled to get back about, I think it's about 20% of what they invested. And DB&G got back about 60%. And what happened is that because of that, over $1.4 billion of taxpayer money was written off. Can anybody shed some light to that? Because I know that Peter Bunting was at the head, not the head, was a member and that he sat on the board for the NIBJ. You understand? Which made certain decisions to invest. You understand? In partnership with DB&G. You see, a lot of things need to come to the light now because we need to show people that these guys have no moral integrity to talk about corruption. And light needs to be shed on this. We can't be silent on these things while these guys. Because when I think, it's one of the things.
Them have look at dunks. They run behind them. I don't know what.
Let me say this and come down. Squitty, I think one of the things why Andrew Wallace said that I think it's in the conference, he said, he's there as a blockage to them. Let me tell you what that means. Because what these guys wants to do, you know, they want to come back in power to run some more sweetheart deal for proven.
Yeah.
They want to run more sweetheart deals for proven. And if Andrew Wallace is there, they can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So look here, we have to shed. I'm glad you have Geo and George online tonight because trust me, I am learning some things tonight. And I thank them for shedding some light on this. We need to educate the people about these things and make them know.
But Chris Kitty, the now cut, you know, say intensive spa was over 2 lakhs. And he was playing the tape with Damien, and the way Damien are going over gold, you know, say it get to her head, like the girl are go mad out. She just said no, and jump off of the platform. She jumped off and make herself say it affect me how the boy a scream and go and over Golden. Or Golden a 3 pair of shoes and all them foolishness there. And the girl jump off and I mean, you know, say she in a depression.
Yeah, well, hold on. Maybe you see with the corruption with NIBJ, right? Honestly, right? To me, it is still unclear. Right? I don't know what originally took place with that scenario. Because it is still unclear. You understand? So but I really want to talk on that because I don't really like talk on topics where I really have facts, information about.
Yeah.
You see what I say?
You know anything about the Air Jamaica thing?
Air Jamaica?
Yeah.
Oh Lord have mercy, man. Oh Lord have mercy, man. Air Jamaica.
Yeah. Shed some light on that, the people.
Listen, oh God Almighty, man, boy, that old star. You see, where Air Jamaica is concerned,
Yeah.
right? The first thing, right? Air Jamaica itself was management top heavy. That's the first red flag. Air Jamaica was top management heavy, right? You can't be running a company where it's say two offices. Yeah, like, you have three managers around the same office. That makes sense. You understand? But when Air Jamaica was up for liquidation, right? Okay,
Yeah.
it was sure. Lord of mercy. Wait name? The brother ATL, Group
But Stewart.
Bush Stewart. Right? It was Bush Stewart who took it over and made some investment in it. Right? But here Jamaica start here the return where the government asks for Air Jamaica, right? It becomes a liability to Bush Stewart. So him let it go back. Him sell back him shares back to the government of Jamaica. Right? The Pilot Association of Jamaica came together and tell PJ, say, look, we want to buy the airline, sell off the airline. Right? And he said, okay. Right? No, this guy here from Guyana. Well, my brain can't get a water, so I don't remember the man name as much. But this investor from Guyana, right? I think he was a good friend. If I'm not really correct, don't really quote me on it. But I think he was related to Omar Davis in some form of marriage. You understand? Right? When he came to Jamaica and was inquiring about Air Jamaica, you understand? Right? When the Pilot Association said that they want to buy Air Jamaica, you understand? Right? And they were promised to sell Air Jamaica, right? And this guy come now and make a deal now with Omar Davis, you understand, and PJ Patterson, you understand? And the deal when they make is that you don't know, say, man power to get grease and who to get cut out tight and all them things there. So guess what now? Them ignore the Pilot Association of Jamaica and sell the airline to this man, the Guyanese. You understand? So, in a part of the deal, when them sell it to Caribbean Airlines, in a part of the deal is just that they said that they will keep the Air Jamaica brand going, right? So, on the planes now, all the way mark Air Jamaica, them still have like the spirit of Kingston or the spirit of Jamaica, the spirit of Spanish Town, still branding on the planes until mostly after 2 years now the money they just drop it. And so Air Jamaica done dead and gone. They just drop it. Right? So the thing is that now.
They must say a Bruce Golding sell it.
No. Bruce Golding never sell Air Jamaica. Bruce Golding never sell Air Jamaica. Right? It's PJ Patterson sell Air Jamaica.
I see this brother Chris Mullins that say I make a mistake was Bruce Golding administration who sold Air Jamaica.
Listen.
Hello? Geo? Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, man. Go on.
Yeah, man. Yes, man. Well, listen to me. You see, the thing is that, wait, one second. I'm plugging my phone for charge. Because...
Yeah, no make it dead, because we want to hear as much as we can. And we want you to check out, how are your counselor? You know your counselor? You see? And of them same set of people here. We rip off the country, raid the country. We raid the country. I come back now and look sorry for. The people sorry for them and give them leadership. After so much blood upon them shoulder, they make come people lose them life. And them say one now come and make people sorry for them. Eh?
Want go back in again and them a come, them a make promise to their friend now, you know, brother.
Yeah. I try to talk sweet like them a angel.
Yes, man, I wipe off them out. I want different generation, this so they can stay there.
I believe this man, Chris Mullins, maybe you don't know the thing like them people, yeah, because them man have been through it, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So,
yeah.
Let me tell you.
You sure say I'm a PJ?
We say, I'm going to tell anybody, we can research it, right?
This brother,
when
he must say, hold on the Geo. He must say, go and research and don't lie. PJ sell A Jamaica, he do the deal before he last election. Let them tell him. Say PJ do the deal before he lose the election.
PJ sell Air Jamaica because I them stop Air Jamaica. Let me tell you something. I them stop Air Jamaica from flying. Here?
And them sell the
I think Air Jamaica they rack up a debt for something like about $179 billion. What a debt. You understand? And the first thing PJ do was sell the land to the Jamaica to London route to Atlantic Airline. You understand?
The one in England, a
right?
truth.
And then it costs a big rivalry with British Airways.
Heathrow, because right? Heathrow was their most their most profitable route, and
of course, yes, and then sell it to Atlantic, and British Airways didn't really feel a way about it. I said, look from when we are supporting the route with you guys, and we're not gonna sell the route, and you couldn't even give us the heads up to say to give us the option to buy it, because what? Right? Because what? Right? The guy who owned Caribbean Airline, you have to still have shares in the Atlantic Airline. Have shares in that Atlantic Airline. Right? And it costs one big controversy, but no matter what a fool you, it is there. Research.
Gio, I want to ask you one more question before and George too can answer this. Is there any truth to the rumor that that FINSAC, which we all know is a Jamaican company, eventually sold their debt portfolio to an American company outside of Texas?
Of course, that's true.
And just a follow-up question to that.
Yes.
Was that debt that they sold the company? They sold the offer that the company gave them. Was it? I hear stories that the company offered them, the debt collection company, the private debt collection company in the United States, offered them a rate lower than what some of these Jamaicans who were FINSAC, so to speak, was offering to get their properties back?
Yes, that's also true.
Of course, it is true.
George, hold on, George, can you elaborate on that, since you were because we want to hear that story.
Yes, so what would have happened is that the FINSAC situation, they were winding down FINSAC. So the whole collection part of FINSAC was basically being terminated. So they were desperate to get rid of it. They were desperate to get rid of the loan portfolio. So they brought in this guy from Texas. I can't remember his name now. But this guy, he basically took over, and he was offered it, if my memory serves me correct. It would have varied, but I think the average, don't quote me on this number, but I believe the average that he was charged for it, so him could make a profit, was something like 10% average.
So somebody said Jocelyn by FINSAC.
Yes, Jocelyn. Yes, that was his name. Yeah, so what happened now is that he would have gotten it for about 10% off the value. So him could make a money on it, and people were offering more than that to get their properties back.
The government refused it.
The government refused it. And people wanted to understand something, you know. I wanted to understand something. Omar Davis and PJ Patterson understood. It was going on for years, you know. They understood that it was devastating businesses, you know. They understood that it was mashing up GEO and other people company, you know. They knew that the financial sector was collapsing as a result of this policy, you know. They knew it was happening before their eyes. People were coming to them, trying to appeal to them, to say, look, help us, our business is failing. And they turned a blind eye. They did not care. Omar Davis and PJ Patterson, they deliberately pursued this policy to destroy businesses in Jamaica. They would say, oh, you are not running your business properly. The example Omar would use, Omar would say something like, look at Scotiabank. Scotiabank is not in trouble. So if they were running their business correctly, Citibank wasn't collapsing. So you people, is because you're not running your business correctly why this is happening. But people, I want you to understand. Let me explain to you what was going on. Scotiabank was giving most of its loans to the government of Jamaica. Most of their loans were not to private businesses. So they were not as significant, and their cost of funds, their deposits, were much lower than most other places. When you're a new Jamaican financial institution, you're taking in higher cost deposits in order to fund your loans, and you're also lending more high-risk loans to new businesses and so on. These were the financial institutions that were taking the chances and giving loans to Jamaican businesses. So they were affected more significantly. I'll give you an example. Of what happened. Listen to this, people. Listen to this. Some of you might have heard me say this before, but I want it to be repeated so people remember. In 1993, this PNP guy owned a 600-acre property in St. Mary. He got a loan through NCB to help the PNP fund them 1993 campaign. NCB gave him the loan. PNP won the 1993 election. The loan was there, not serviced. Now, NCB also got into financial trouble. What happened at NCB is that FINSAC didn't take NCB over. FINSAC instead took the non-performing loans. And one of the non-performing loans was this particular loan. So understand, there is the loan, a non-performing loan not being paid by this PNP high official, and there's the asset.
Hold on, George, hold on. And bear in mind that NCB was in worse shape than Central National Bank at the time. But they didn't take over NCB.
Yes, it looked too bad because it's such a big bank. Basically, they said too big to fail. And understand, Hilton got specific instructions from the Ministry of Finance, and you know who is at the head of that, to give back the property to this PNP man. So the instructions came, FINSAC had to obey the order from Ministry of Finance. The property was taken over by the man. He got back his property, and the loan is left at FINSAC. In other words, that loan got rolled up in all of what into the total debt, and it went onto the national debt. So that means, as you can see, if the Jamaican people paying back the PNP's 1993 campaign debt.
And them want come run country that tell people want to thief.
That's sad.
And them a call the Prime Minister thief. Them same set of man there. Look at that.
You know,
Who can tell me, hold on there. Who can talk about Goodyear? How Goodyear met the demise?
That's right.
And we have some champion on the line tonight now. We want to get out the facts, make people here. We have 420 odd people plus who the panel for you are listening.
Hold on. Before we go no further, it's a question I asked from, I nearly 2 weeks to ask this question. These two questions now. Anybody can tell me or just educate me or which parish Mark Bolin reign from, or which hospital in born in Jamaica, or which school he used to go?
You come back here so with the Geo.
Yeah, no. I want to know, honestly, because just like coming on my Prime Minister, history, I want to know something about Mark Bolin, coming to know nothing about him.
He says he went to Campion College, and he was going to Campion College for a while. But he did not graduate from Campion College. He went back to England to finish high school.
To finish high school?
Yes, he did not graduate from Campion.
Okay, so we're born.
I don't know. That's a mystery to everybody. That's a mystery.
Okay, well, part of the question is being answered. Part of the question is being answered. So nobody still don't know which part in born in.
Yeah, I'm not going to go to a Goodyear thing, you know.
George, so that's what I'm So George, just for certain that he went to Campion. Who went to Campion with him? Who was his classmate though, George? At Campion.
Well, you know the answer, that's why you're asking the question. It was Bunting was a senior at Campion. Bunting was a senior at Campion. Bunting did graduate from there, but he didn't graduate from Campion. He left and went to England to finish high school.
Sweetie,
Goodyear thing now.
Sweetie, somebody in the chat said that he started Campion and he finished at Immaculate.
It looks like he was Immaculate.
Yeah. So my understanding, Squitty, about Goodyear is that Goodyear in Jamaica, remember, in the 1960s, Jamaica, under Robert Lightburn, Jamaica was going through a rapid period of industrialization, and a lot of manufacturing companies came in Jamaica, including Goodyear. And it was a profitable entity. It was profitable and it was making money. Part of what allowed them to make money is that we had a protection. You couldn't just import tires like that. So Goodyear was able to sell their tires at a reasonable price to make a reasonable profit. Now, what the PNP did is a couple things went wrong. One, they reduced the protection barriers that Goodyear had. That's one. Two, your good friend Lambert Brown was the head of the union over there at the time. And he put pressure on the company. The company said, look, we do not have the amount of money to be able to support the wage increases that you're looking for. If we do it, it's going to cause the company to close down. And Lambert Brown, led by Lambert Brown, they pushed ahead, got the increase, and Goodyear had to close down. So they had their profits declining, and they had their costs going up. So, and at the same time, interest rates were high, So them just say, look, let's close this thing down. It don't make any sense at this point. And that's how I understand Goodyear collapse.
And I think this was, you know, I think this was supposed to be 97.
Yeah, man. So them broke down again, another PMP again. Another PMP again. Run the people them out of job. Run the people them out of job and everything. People them lose their job. Nothing to do.
I knew the manager at Goodyear that time. He was from Elshite, Jackson. Keith Jackson. We were neighbor right there. We were neighbor right in Sir Williams. I can't call him. He had a son who was a doctor at public hospital. It's true you tell him, 97. That's true.
Yeah.
PMP destroy Jamaica. PMP destroy Jamaica and looking to come to do it again. And if the people them know really understand what going on. And they really understand what going on. This time is bro. They hear about Gilbert.
I put it as a boy, them rape Jamaica economy. Rape.
Gilbert, bigger than Gilbert. Bigger than Gilbert.
You know?
People come back on their feet after Gilbert quickly. After a financial meltdown, nobody. People have kept their life. So it's bigger than a hurricane. And we are looking to them as people have to guide us.
Let me tell you something, man. I got alone to keep me, man. I got alone to keep me.
So Gio. Yeah, so what are you doing in life now?
Well, you know, so I'm still around do a little business. Still I do a little camera business, you know.
Are you ambitious, your boy?
With the access and thing there, so we still around it and we're doing a little business and it's a go
He's a real determined man, brother. I mean, hats off to you, man.
Who God bless no man curse.
Gio, I said this to you, so you must encourage. Go on, Skitty. Go on, Gio. Answer Skitty. Let me say something to you.
Huh?
Which month you born?
October.
That's Scorpio.
Yeah, man.
You could have tell you.
Yeah, Gio. What I want you to do now, what I need to tell you though, Gio, is that warrior mentality.
Hold on, Soji.
Yeah.
You could have tell you that, you know, Gio. Me a Scorpio, you know.
Also, determination.
I'm going to go through a whole heap of thing, brother. And me see, me analyze where you go through and say that Scorpio man that, you know. And we strong, sir.
Oh, boy.
And we fight till you get to overcome. And you have to get bigger and better, brother. In the end, you're going to be successful, yeah?
I mean, man. After this one.
Yeah, man.
After setback, there's a comeback.
Yeah, man.
Well, Gio. Gio, me just want you to go out. I want you to go out and you see your small business partner friends them. Tell them, say, if them no voting and keep back Andrew Holness in you, look what to expect. I'm telling you, you know. You need to go out there and tell them.
Yeah,
you
man.
need to tell them, you know.
No, but talk to them,
you need to talk to them, you know. You need to talk to them, you know. You feel like a joke. You feel like a joke.
Even the other day, at the expo, even the other day at the Income Expo up by AC Hotel there.
Yeah.
You know, we were networking. Some of our businesses was networking. And that argument came up. We said, listen me, if we not keep this man continue doing what we're him doing and make the other side come in and stop it and do for them thing. They said, dog, me and my supper. Because next thing you know, say, a FINSAC part 2 could have come. Honestly, I tell you, big and serious, me never take it like, oh, me take it in the 90s. Me I tell you that. Because imagine as a young, remember, you know, as a young youth, you know, right? As a young youth, you know, because in the 90s, you know, when we discuss on a brush like all 28, 29, I mean, I run my own business. All over there, my business partner same way. Right? Okay? And I tell you, when you see all of them things now, I crumble down. I'm gonna buy my house when I'm 30. I'm gonna buy my house when I'm 30. You understand? And just everything just taken away from you by the government of this country. But them say, boy, they are for the people. Huh?
And then him come attack say him love poor people. And that come I can say love poor people, you know?
Love what kind of poor people? Love what kind of poor people? And
Yes, they want everybody to be poor. They love poor people, so they want
and
to be
himself
poor.
a demonstrate for
And
poor
depend on
people.
them.
And himself a demonstrate for poor people, you know?
They want everybody to be poor, man.
Yeah, because they want to keep everybody at a certain level. But let me leave a thing there with you guys. Let me leave a saying with you guys. You see? To what I know from a business aspect. You see, when you make somebody think for you, then take your power from you.
Yeah.
But when you can think for yourself, you gain your own power.
Good point.
Remember that.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to talk to you about, you mentioned about the FINSAC report. And the FINSAC report, the issue, it get to the final stage, you know, where all of what you said, all of the testimonies, even from Omar himself and the bankers, everybody made an input. So the problem came down, Geo, to the final report. There was conflict after 150 million spent. The conflict came down as to what should be in the report, and that is what started. In effect, Squitty, what has happened is that the PNP has blocked the release of the report because they don't like what it is saying. That's effectively what caused it not to release.
And remember too, Georgia, the JLP lost the election too in 2011.
Okay.
Before
Yes.
the completion, yeah.
And
Yeah.
then remember they couldn't sign some of the papers, some of the documents couldn't be found.
No, because them destroyed. Them destroyed and them shred with them for shred. You understand? So
I
anything
think-
we have right now is watered down.
I think the JLP government, if they win the next election, they should pursue releasing what can be released. It must be released, man. This is history. The people need to know that we don't go down this road again.
And very emotional over it. It's very emotional over it till now.
Let me say something to Judge. Hold on there. Judge, you know your councillor and your MP, right?
Of course, absolutely.
So you can talk to him and tell him say you want to go on a stage, go on one of the political platform before election come on for make some speech.
Yes. You know, I actually reached out to him already and him not respond, but send him an email, and somebody who close to him,
What kind of councillor? GLP councillor or PNP?
PNP councillor.
They're not going to respond, man.
Never respond.
They're not going to respond.
Right. So I reached out to the GLP
I think if you reach out
candidate.
to a GLP councillor or an MP,
Go one
Yes,
of the
MP.
big people where the man romantic go be and go give your testimony, brother.
yes, try to get in touch with one of them popular MP and when them have them meet, make them invite you up and you go up and talk your story, brother. It's a powerful story.
Squitty,
People for years.
Squitty.
Yes, sir.
I think you need to let your listeners know you have 400 and something people on here.
Yeah.
And you need to let them know that when and Geo and George can attest to this, that when this crisis happened in the 90s, right? That the people who were largely impacted, were black organic Jamaican businessmen that were impacted. 44,000 of them were largely impacted by this crisis that took place. People like Henry Fullerton, men like Don Crawford, and we're talking about Jamaican men who were trying to work on building a legacy for their children and their grandchildren. And not only were they building a legacy for their families, but they were providing employment opportunities for the working common Jamaican man.
Yeah.
You know, Paul, Chenny Young, all of these guys, they were there, and you.
Remember Arthur Brown commit suicide.
Yes, G. Arthur Brown, he was from the BOJ. But let me.
Somebody say, hold on, I'm not cut it, just a minute, stick up in it. Somebody say, if you go to Scotia Bank right now, after you say an elderly man selling book.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
A lot of businesses, which were small businesses, lost men who were building legacies for their children, lost their investments, and we never look at the side to it. You know, there was a political side to it, because when FINSAC was formed, you know, when FINSAC was formed by the government, you had I believe it was the BOJ governor who was a chair of the board. They had a board, and the deputy governor of the Bank of Jamaica was a supervisor. He was a guy who provided supervision over the board. And don't forget that on that board there were a lot of politically aligned individuals were placed on that board. You know, from the labor union, and from and political people who were lawyers, and they used it as an opportunity to destroy potential